Hey guys, and welcome back to the HH Gaming YouTube channel. On Thursday, we released a video on bomb damage, and we were looking at exactly how bombs work. Now, if you remember in that video, I made a note to say that ally protection doesn't reduce bomb damage. But when we were testing and recording that video, we came across a weird bug where ally protectors were still taking damage even though the damage wasn't being reduced. And at the time, I didn't have the idea of why it was happening or the math behind it. But in today's video, we're going to cover exactly why that is. And I think it's a bug. So at the end of the video, I'll probably bug report this to Plarium. But let's go through this. Now, if you remember from the previous video, we were using Shazar to test bombs. Now, I haven't changed my Shazar. We're still running at 3,323 attack. And in that video, we were estimating, based on his 3.2 multiplier, that he will do around 10,600 damage with his bombs. So let's run this again and just get some numbers out of the system. So we will put the bombs out. Great. Usurga takes it, and then we'll see 1655 is being taken, and that seems to be a fixed number. So whenever we see a fixed number, we know something mechanically is being calculated in the background in a regular pattern. It's not a random thing. It can't be based on everything else. So how does this calculate? So the next thing we want to test here, just to make sure, is we're going to use Grunch, who's a different build. And now with Grunch, we've got a lot less attack. We've got around about 798 attack here. So we're going to run Grunch now, and we'll see what the damage Usurga takes with his bombs. Now Grunch is different. His bombs are 5 times attack. Oh, look at that. We never landed the bomb. Let's just rerun that again. Obviously not 100% reliability. Right, there we go. Let's just run this through. Brilliant. The bomb lands. So Usurga's taken 398. Right, so let's do a bit of math here now. Put it into a bit of an Excel sheet, and let's see if we can figure out where this damage is coming from. So we've built like a simple spreadsheet here, and what we've got is the bomb damage that is being placed on the Usurga, and then I've just got 2 columns, Usurga with weaken and Usurga without. If she's got weaken, she does take about 25% more on that ally protection damage. So our first initial thoughts were 10635. Now we know that we were getting 1655 out of this boss. So there was no way that I could calculate from 10635 how we got to 1655. However, when I went to Grunch, now Grunch was doing 3,993 in a bomb damage, and Usurga was taking 398 damage from the ally protection. So what I did is I basically thought, okay, well, how does ally protection work here? Well, it takes 50% of the damage. So let's try that first. Let's take 3,993 and multiply it by 0.5, taking half. And that leaves us with 1,996.5 damage. And then the next thing that ally protect normally does is it will reduce the damage that the protection is received by the protector's defense value. So again, I put in I obviously used the stages tool to collect the defense value of Usurga on normal floor 6, which is about 4,274, and that returns a damage reduction percentage of about 80%. So we plug that into the equation here by taking the half the value and multiplying it by the damage reduction, and we reach the 398. So that tells me that the way it's happening is, even though the bomb damage itself isn't being reduced on the protector, on the protected champion, the person who is applying ally protection is still taking 50% of the damage and then reducing it by their own damage reduction, which is effectively more damage than your bomb champion is actually dealing. Now here's the weird thing with the Shazar champion. Now Shazar on his bombs is a 3.2 multiplier. That's why we see the 10,635 damage based on his attack of 3,323. 3.2 times that's that number. However, if we apply the same formula that we've just concluded works with Grunch, where we take half of that 10,000 and then reduce it by the 80%, well, it returns 1,059, but we were clearly seeing it was hitting for 1,655. So that got me thinking, and what I thought was, what if similar to the way that ally protection critical hits are based off the protector's crit damage, our bombs not based off the person who's placing the bomb, simply on the presence of bombs. Keeping in mind that a bomb has a default multiplier of 5 times. Grunch is special in the sense that he's one of the few champions where his own skill doesn't change the multiplier, whereas Shazar is 3.2. So using the calculator we had yesterday, let's see what, so 5 times multiplier times 3.323 is 0.4 just for rounding, and that will return to us a 16617 bomb. So if we change this number here and we do 16617, and we can see in the Shazar calculation, we take half of that and then reduce it, it returns to 1655. So not only is the bomb triggering ally protection, but not actually being reduced, it's also defaulting to the bomb's default multiplier. So if I'm using Shazar, technically speaking, not only am I getting 100% of my bomb damage on the person I've bombed, I'm also getting more damage on the ally protector and more damage on top of my bombs because it's using a higher multiplier. So to me, this seems completely broken, and like this seems to be a bug. Either the ally protection should be reducing it by half, working similar to the way that it does in Clan Boss, where it basically reduces half the raw damage before any multiplication or anything goes on top of it, or ally protection shouldn't take any damage at all. It shouldn't do this weird thing where technically you deal 100% damage to the bombed champion and then a fraction of that damage gets put on the ally protection, because technically you're doing damage on top of damage, and with Shazar on top of damage again because it's a higher multiplier. So as I said, I'm going to raise this with Plarium. I'm going to show them this video so they can see that it's actually happening, and we'll see what we get from it. But yeah, so that's ally protection and bombs. The key thing to take away from this video: don't use ally protection with bombs, you're just taking more damage. Bit of a bonus one this week. Just to note for all of you podcast listeners, me and Fiction have been quite busy this week with it being a patch week and a couple of other things coming up in the pipelines. So we're going to be pushing this week's podcast to next week, and next week we'll have Hell Hades joining. So thanks for watching. If you have any comments or any feedback, please feel free to leave that in the video below, and we'll see you for next week's video.